Hi, and welcome to this edition of Tennis Volley Talk. In this episode, I'm going to be talking today a little bit about the ATP Men's Final Eight and who ended up winning that tournament, and then also the Billie Jean King Cup and what country won that tournament, and who won the trophy, what country won the trophy with that. And then a little bit of a racket of the day that you'll get to see a racket that I have, a little bit of history behind that. And I hope that you do like the racket of the day because I like doing it and kind of telling people about the history of the rackets that I have. And plus the manufacturer, who may have endorsed it, and a little bit of history of that person, and then a little bit of history of the manufacturer who made the racket and the history of that. I do like doing that. And then again, possible next week, there could be in-house guest, which will be a nice interview, I think, coming up, and get to see or hear about another tennis player that I know, and we'll see how that goes for next week. But anyway, you YouTubers, just keep commenting and following and liking and subscribe to my channel. And then you podcasters, just know that you'll be hearing about the racket of the day. And if you did want to go see that racket, then you could still go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and like, subscribe, and comment. And let me know if you do like the over-the-phone interviews that I do, because I do really like doing those. And the only way that I can get better with this and keep it going as much or as long as I can is then to get the comments from people that like what they like, and let me know what they would like to see me do a little bit more in what I do with the tennis podcast here. So anyway, with that, the ATP final was last week, and the final 8 men, it ended up being down to the final, and the 2 men that made it through were pretty easily Jannik Sinner, the odds-on favorite to win, which he has been absolutely playing lights-out tennis. And then it was Taylor Fritz who ended up in the final with Jannik Sinner, and he ended up kind of faltering, lost one match, but he ended up winning what he needed to get into the final. And he been playing very good this year too, and so he's moved up into world number 4 now, and he is really been playing. This has been one of his breakout years, making it into the final of the U.S. Open, unfortunately losing there. But he ended up playing Jannik Sinner in the final there, and Sinner won 6-4, 6-4. But it was really a close match all the way around, and being so close that it was. But it ended up going to Sinner, and he ended up winning the final 8 in the final men's 8 of the 8 of the best players out there. And then along with that too, just this last weekend, we ended up having the Billie Jean King Cup. Had several USA was in the countries that were playing for the Billie Jean King Cup, kind of like a women's Davis Cup in a sense, but they call it the Billie Jean King Cup. And with that, kind of the same format of what Davis Cup is too. And with that, it was USA lost out in the early rounds, and it was some well-fought battles all the way around with some good playing. Iga Swiatek, she ended up losing, so Poland didn't get into it or anything, but it ended up being Spain and Slovakia. So with that, Spain ended up taking it, the trophy, with a 2-0, 4-0, 2-0, and best of 3 if you split the singles 1-1, then it goes to the doubles deciding. But the two singles, they ended up winning. And it was actually Italy took its fifth title, the first since 2013. Slovakia took their last cup in 2002. But Lucia Bronzetti, she beat Victoria Humulakova 6-2, 6-4, and then followed up by the world number 4 player in the women's ATP ranking, Jasmine Paolini, and she ended up taking the win over Rebecca Skremskova, and she ended up winning 6-2, 6-1. But Paolini, she's actually been had a breakout year this year, made it to 2 finals, the Australian Open and I believe the French Open, and lost in both, but still played very well. And she's been, and she's a little older player. She's only like 5'3" or 4, but they say that the way she hits the ball and the way and she's a very consistent server too, but the way she hits the ball and uses her whole body into it, it comes off of the racket. And some of the women pros out there have actually said that ball comes off of there and it comes off a lot harder than what you think it is. It kind of pushes you back on the court. So you're just not used to that kind of a power coming at you. A heavy ball is what they call it. So, but congratulations for her in the country of Spain to win the Billie Jean King Cup. And that was very, very good at that. Sometimes I feel that, whenever I play my friend Rob out there, he pushes me back because he still, whatever reason, he can still return serve real well. He gets a beat on things and then he hits the ball and he can push you back pretty good. So I just have to do something about that a little bit different somehow, so I can get in some better returns on him and then get into some ground strokes where I can possibly get into a better ground stroke part of it there. But you YouTubers, be sure and like, subscribe, and follow. Make comments and tell me what you like. I can only do, with the comments that you tell me what you'd like for me to do. If you like the over the phone interviews, and then, with that, I do like doing that too. And I've had several really good ones over the course of my 2 years and in my second year in doing this, and coming up on my second full year. And with that, you podcasters, you be sure you're going to be hearing about the racket of the day. And so if you want to take a look at it, go to my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and comment. And like that. And go to my YouTube channel if you want to take a look at it. With that, though, now without anything else, the racket of the day today, it's probably in and around about the 1970s, in that area, maybe 60s, late 50s, early 60s, in that area, going into the 70s. But this is actually is a Schlesinger racket. Schlesinger. Now, the endorsement pro that was endorsing the Schlesinger racket was Manuel Orantes. And he was the one that endorsed this racket. But Schlesinger was actually endorsed in 1881 as a sporting goods store. And they lasted up until they were bought out by another company, Dunlop. And then after that, Dunlop was bought by somebody, and it progressed. So Schlesinger was bought out in 1959 by Dunlop. But however, with that, we have the brothers that opened it up and founded it were actual brothers Ralph and Albert Schlesinger. And like I said, it was starting out as a sporting goods store. The company was out of Shirebrook in Derbyshire, England, United Kingdom. They made tennis rackets and cricket equipment, and then golf equipment too, during their time that they were in business and doing sporting goods stuff. Now this racket, I like the color, and it's the varnished darker brown here with the gold. It's black orantes on it, and then but it has then with that the gold letter gold letter outline, and of course Slazenger being in gold, that's kind of a cool look too. But then it also has the Slazenger pass. Slazenger emblem on it. Sorry about that. The Slazenger emblem on it. And then with that, a very nice, still varnished very well. Still a very solid racket. It's actually nylon strings. So it had been restrung at some time or another, and it still has the knots are smooth on it, so that kind of leads you to believe late 50s, early 60s into the close to 70s that this racket was, and he endorsed it. And like I said, Manuel Orantes, he was born February 6th, 1949. So during that time, 49, and he started, he was a Spaniard, let's see, tennis player, a lefty like Connors, and then he held 34 titles, and he made it into the men's championships for 10 from 10 different countries. He made it into and held the national championships in 10 different countries, and then he also qualified for the Masters final, now the Nido, where the final 8 are, for 6 years consecutive from 1972 to 1977. Now, most of you remember at the U.S. Open back in 75, when it probably, I believe it was held at the Westside Tennis Club in New York at the time. And he pulled out an upset over Jimmy Connors in the 75 U.S. Open. But the night before he played the final, he played 5 sets against Guillermo Vilas, another lefty. So of three lefties in play in the semifinals there at that U.S. Open in 75. And then he was down 5-0 in the 4th set against Vilas and came back and won in 5. He won the 4th set, and then he won the 5th. But he didn't get off the court until after midnight. And then he was back playing the final against Connors and beat Connors in the 1975 final. But still a very good sturdy racket. I like the colors on it, the darkness of the brown darkness, and the way it is written Slazenger on it, and then the panther Slazenger. That's the animal that they use for the symbol of Slazenger. So it's a very nice, sleek looking racket still, and still very good condition. And with that, as things go, I hope that you like that and like the history of the rackets that I give you, and also who endorse them. I like doing that. But you YouTubers, like, subscribe, and follow. And then you podcasters, if you want to take a look at what the racket I just showed, you can look on my YouTube channel of Tennis Volley Talk, and then like, subscribe, and comment. And I do thank you very much for letting me come in and talk to you again today. I do like doing this. I still want to continue, and I will keep on doing it and seeing what I can come up with. Later on, maybe some, who knows, some tennis pros out there might grab a hold and hear me or see me and get a hold of me. I don't know, but I'd like to. So anyway, give me a call, Jimmy. Anyway. like that, I would thank you very much for letting me come in and talk to you. And if anybody's still outside playing tennis, good for that. Getting a little cool here where I'm at. So I'm going to have to be going inside now pretty soon. So everybody have a nice week. And I thank you very much again for letting me talk to you today.